Guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be making a top out of a granny square. So you're going to want to make a granny square a little larger. This one measures like 8 by 8 inches. We're going to be using a variety of colors by this brand, Sugar and Cream. They're very affordable. They're cotton, and you can usually find them in your local craft stores. We're going to be using a 5mm or size H hook as well, and you'll probably want just a tapestry needle to sew in your ends. So all granny squares will have a side edge and then a corner. So depending on how you've worked the border of your granny square, you're just going to follow that exact same pattern, but we're only going to do a few sides. So we're just going to begin by working down this side, work our corner, work down the side, work our corner, work down the side, work our corner, and then work up the side. We're going to skip working this top corner here. So this will be right where the top is going to hit, right below our neck. So we're just going to attach our yarn to this double crochet stitch here, and we're just going to chain up 3 and then make double crochets all the way to the corner. Okay, so I added my new color yarn here. I'm just going to chain up 3, and this will count as my first double crochet. And then in each stitch along the edge, we're just going to do a double crochet. So I worked all the way down to where my corner stitch would be. So the corner in this granny square is just comprised of 3 double crochets. So I'm going to find that middle double crochet here and just put 3 double crochets all in that same stitch to work a new corner here, just to keep this shape consistent. So after we add our 3 double crochets in that middle stitch there, we're just going to continue making double crochets until the next corner, and then go ahead and repeat that. Okay, so you can see that this is where we started. We worked all the way down to our corner. We made our corner. We worked down to the next one. We made that corner. We worked down to the next, made that corner, and then we worked all the way down to where our last corner would be, but we're not going to work into that center stitch. To change colors to go onto your next round, you can just go ahead and make your double crochet, but don't finish with that last stitch in that same color. You can just change colors by grabbing your new piece of yarn and just looping it over your hook like this, and then finishing your last stitch of that double crochet with your new color. And then to secure, you can just knot these together and work in the tails as you work your next row here. So we're going to chain up 3, we'll turn our work, and then we'll work down the side and make another corner, and just repeat what you did for that last row there. So I went ahead and made the rest of that row, and basically you can just keep changing colors and working rows for as long as you want your top. So just stop working rows until you get to the length on your stomach that you would want your top to be. I think I'm going to work about 2 more rows of different colors, and then we'll expand the side that will wrap around your waist and tie in the back. So go ahead and work as many rows as you want to make it the length that you desire. Alright, so this is what I ended up with after working the amount of rows that I needed. So from the original granny square, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows around. And just keep in mind that this is where the neck would tie here, and then this is going to lie flat on your chest. So you want to do as many rows as you need to kind of cover your girls if you have any breasts. So you want this to kind of cover the boobs, and then down here is where it's going to lie on your stomach. So just make sure that you're satisfied with the length here and the length here. And now you can definitely just turn this shape into a top, like a cute little bandana shaped top that would tie here and then around the neck. But I'm going to show you how to make the sides here. So we'll turn our work like this, where you have the neck opening here, and then we could see this corner, and then this point, which would be facing the stomach. So we're going to start by joining our yarn with this cluster here of 3, but we're going to join to that last double crochet here, and we'll just chain up 3 to make our mock double crochet, but we're going to start with a decrease. So we're going to go into these next 2 stitches with a double crochet decrease. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into that first stitch, pull up a loop. So now you have 3 stitches on your hook. You're going to yarn over and then pull through just 2 of them. So you still have 2 stitches on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into the next stitch here. We're going to pull up a loop so that we have 4 stitches on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of them, and then we have 3, and we're going to yarn over and then pull through all 3. So we turn those 2 stitches into 1. Let's go ahead and double crochet all the way until we reach these last 2 stitches before this corner cluster. Okay, so we reached the last 2 stitches before that corner cluster here. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go through that first stitch, we're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through 2 stitches. We're going to yarn over, go through that next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then pull through 3. So we just made another decrease there. Go ahead and chain up 3, or you could change colors. I'm just going to stick with the same one. We're going to turn our work, and then in these 2 stitches we're going to do our decrease again. And then go ahead and do your double crochets until you reach your last 2 stitches here, and then do another decrease. Okay, we reached our last 2 stitches. I'm not going to count this chain of 3 as anything, so we're going to do our double crochet decrease and also switch colors. So we're just going to yarn over and then start our decrease as normal here. So right before you yarn over and go through the last 3 stitches on your hook, or loops on your hook, you're going to grab your new color here, and then you're going to pull that new color through all 3 loops here. And that's how you're going to change your color while also decreasing. So go ahead and repeat this with your new color. Just go ahead and decrease at the beginning and at the end of your row. Eventually all of the decreasing will taper this strap to where you are left with 2 stitches here. So I'm just going to stick with the same color now that I have the 2 stitches, and you'll just want to keep making this for as long as you'd like, because this is going to eventually tie around the back. So you'll mimic that same color pattern and decreasing that you did on this side to match with this side, so that you'll end up with 2 straps, and then you'll be able to tie this around your back to secure it. Okay, so you could see that I did my one side, and then I did the exact same thing on the other side so that this could tie around our waist and then tie in the back. We're gonna work on the neck area now. So what I did was took whatever color I wanted, and I just did a long chain, and I did 70, but you can make it as long as you want. And then we're going to keep our chain on our hook, and we're just going to join it to this last stitch right here. And we could join that with a single crochet. So now you could see that it's attached here. So you could either fasten that off, or you could do like a trim along here just to finish off that look. So you can go ahead and add a single crochet around that double crochet here. And then you could add another single crochet in that same space. And then you could do a single crochet in this stitch right here. And then let's do 2 single crochets in this space. And then we can do a single crochet in the next space here. And then 2 single crochets So just carry on doing that. Maybe when you get to the center part, just do 1 single crochet in each of these stitches, and then when you get to the end, just do a long chain of 70. Okay, so you should have your 2 long chains that will tie around your neck, and then this looks a little more finished on that neckline. Now you could just fasten off and keep the ties this skinny, or you could end up chaining 1 and then turning your strand here, and you can just work single crochets along the top loop all the way down the chain around the neckline and then up the other chain, just to give yourself a little thicker tie. So because of the sizing, the back ended up being a little too open for me, so what I ended up doing was chaining a very long chain of like 200 or so, and then I just attached it around certain double crochets of certain rows here. So I just laced it back and forth, and then you'll be able to tie that around your back just to give you a little more coverage. I also found that I wanted to sew these petals down. So these 2 petals on the granny square were giving me a wardrobe malfunction, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to be taking my tapestry needle and entering it right here where you see me pointing, and it's going to correspond with the double crochets on that other row there. So there happens to be 5 double crochets on each part there, so we're just going to insert our needle right where I'm grabbing. It's kind of like the back loop, and then we're going to go in and sew along those 5 double crochets there. So take your tapestry needle and go in that back loop of that double crochet, and then go under the 2 loops on the other row and just pull your yarn through, and then you can tighten as you go. So go ahead and do that with the next double crochet on that petal, and then go to the next 2 loops on that double crochet of that other row, and then pull it tight, and you'll start to join these 2 parts together, making sure you just grab that 1 loop on that petal, and then going under the 2 loops of that double crochet of that other row, and just pull your string taut. You're going to continue to do that with each petal here. So this is what things will look like after you lace each one. And from the other side, you can see it's pretty seamless and it's joined, and there's no more peekaboo going on. This is what the top looks like on after we sewed those petals down, and you could tell that they're not lifting anymore, so feel free to sew down any petals that you would need for more coverage, just using that same method. This was just another cute way to wear the top by folding that band up a little.